Surgeons sacrifice themselves for the citizens who, then, will suffer. Eiji Kanehira, Medical Topia Saka. Hi dear friends, dear colleagues, good morning to everyone. Thank you Youngwoo, my dear Korean friend, to recommend me to the program committee to make it possible for me to come today. I am a surgeon, still practicing every day as an operator. But today let me focus on something different from my operation techniques. Well, this is my backbone examined in 2012. It is curved and severely stenotic in L3 and 4. The left side spinal nerve root is significantly compressed, too. I suffered from terrible lumbago over 15 years. The amount of pain reliever has been increasing until finally it was sometimes 10 tablets a day. Then since 2016, I have been aware of numbness and loss of power in my left leg. My left leg became thin with muscle atrophy. And I could not play tennis well, which was my favorite sport. In spite of this miserable health condition, I kept on performing operations every day, sometimes for more than 5 hours. I thought my body would not tolerate any more. Especially the numbness and power loss in my left leg became worse, which was crucial and let me decide to undergo a spine operation. Then I underwent it in December 2022. The operation is called posterior fixation. 1 year and 4 months ago. I have 2 metal plates with 4 bolts implanted in my backbone. It was interesting when I posted in SNS about my story of spine surgery. Soon some old classmates, alumni from the same university responded, telling that they had the same spine surgery, posterior fixation. All of them were surgeons. Moreover, other surgeons, whom I have known through my academic activities, mailed me and told me they underwent the same surgery due to the same disease, spinal canal stenosis, too. I was shocked. 6 surgeons around me, including 3 of my university classmates, underwent the same surgery. Surgeons, as we can easily imagine, were exposed to the risks to injure our backbone and spine. With the scientific evidences, there have been sizable reports in the medical journals concluding the incidence of spinal disc herniation or lumbago in surgeons are more frequent than other people. Medical schools didn't teach us this fact, and we have not taken any measures against it. At least in Japan, nobody didn't pick up this serious problem so far. Then it means we, surgeons, have to protect our body by ourselves. It is said there are 2 major causes for spine problems of surgeons. 1, our posture during the operations. 2, long working hours. Now let me firstly focus on the posture during operations. Do you pay attention to your posture during your operations? Let me show you how I had been operating for 30 years before my spine surgery. I think this posture often happens not only to me, but also some of you, when you want to have a closer look at your target on the monitor. We know we should move the laparoscope forward instead of moving our eyes forward. But it is our instinct to move our head forward to the target when we want to see more details. Then this bad posture increases your intradiscal pressure, which can eventually damage your backbone and spinal nerves. As shown in this famous picture by Natchamson and Wilkie, if you bend your upper body forward a little, your intradiscal pressure will be increased twice compared to that when you simply stand up straight. Interestingly, even when you sit on the chair, if you bend your upper body forward, the intradiscal pressure will be apparently worse than standing straight. Imagine your head weighs as heavy as a bowling ball. This is how your head bent forward damages your spine. The same theory can be applied to explain how it can damage your spine if you stretch your arm and want to extend it farther strongly. It happens if you hold the laparoscope like this during the operation or when your operating table is too high. Moreover, we often use foot pedal switches to control our energy devices. If you keep on taking this asymmetric posture every day during your operation, it also gives your spine considerable damages. We all surgeons have to know those theories and risks. And we have to avoid taking those bad postures to protect ourselves against the spine problem. Now the second topic is the long working hours of surgeons. I think even if we take care of our posture during the operation, our spine may be damaged if we work and operate for very long hours every day. Well, now let's have a look at how long surgeons work in Japan. It is about 60 hours a week in 2020. Most people are surprised to see this result, saying, wow, surgeons are working very long hours. But young surgeons are surprised more, saying that this result is telling a lie. We work much longer. This is because the official statistics results include all kinds of surgeons working for own small clinic, for a small hospital in countryside with very few operations, old surgeons, working for managements, and so on. So what is the reality? Let's see. I myself worked more than 100 hours a week when I was a resident. In my generation, 100 hours a week was not an outstanding example.
Hello, ゆういち。ごめんね、仕事中。はい。若い時何時間ぐらい働いてましたかね。
週90時間ぐらいですかね。
はい、ドットレスさん。忙しかった病院レジデントの時の1週間どのぐらい何時間ぐらい働いてましたかね。
だいたい90時間ぐらいだと思います。
90時間。週何時間ぐらい働いてましたかね。
週80時間とかですかね。
はい。
Now we have seen the reality of working hours of Japanese young surgeons. I worry pretty much about the crisis of Korean hospitals caused by the loss of more than 8,000 junior doctors since middle February this year. The strike was triggered by the announcement by the government who would increase the number of medical students by 2,000. But I doubt that is the only reason. I suspect there may be a deeper meaning below the surface. It may be their long-existing dissatisfaction from long working hours and their unreasonably low wages. Surgeons in Korea are working for too long hours, as you see the statistics from Chosunilbo. 80 hours is so-called the line of Goroza, death from overworking. I pray so that this crisis will be terminated as soon as possible, not only for the patients, but also for young doctors in Korea. Both of two countries, Korea and Japan, are notorious for the long working hours not only in surgeons, but of course general citizens, as you should know already. Then both of our countries enacted the law of workstyle reform in the same year, 2018. This new law implements the upper limits onto the working hours. Why did our countries decide to undertake such a reform of workstyle? Firstly, I think we need to stop the shortage of working population. Without the entry of women and aged people, it cannot be realized. Then we need to improve the labor environment for them. Another issue is the fact that our government became aware of the damage to human health caused by overworking, and they got taking seriously the significant loss of human resources. When surgeons work too hard for long hours and our physical condition is damaged seriously, we might be burnout, which should eventually cause decrease in number of surgeons. Spinal canal stenosis, which I've been suffering myself, might have been caused by working long-hour operations with unfavorable posture. In addition, there is a problem of productivity, which is known to be decreased by overworking. It is completely denied that the longer we work, the higher the productivity gets. We can reconfirm it by taking a look at this slide. Although Japanese workers work very hard for longer hours, our productivity is very much less than expected. Generally, thousands of reports have been published to evidence that safety is reduced as a consequence of long-hour working. Especially fatigue and sleep deprivation are known to cause serious accidents and disasters. 3 Mile Islands in 1979. The Space Shuttle Challenger disaster in 1986. Chernobyl disaster in the same year. Official inspection revealed all these gigantic disasters were caused by sleep deprivation or fatigue. Likewise, a lot of scientific papers were published to evidence the correlation between increased operative complications and surgeons' fatigue and sleep deprivation. For example, this paper says the operative complication got increased by 1.7 times for the group of surgeons after emergency operation during the night duty, compared to the control group with sleep time for 6 hours or longer. By the way, this movie clip shows a part of the speech made by Bill Gates of Microsoft for the graduates of Northern Arizona University.
It took me a long time to learn, and it is this: you are not a slacker if you cut yourself some slack. When I was your age, I didn't believe in vacations. I didn't even believe in weekends. I pushed everyone around me to work very long hours. In the early days of Microsoft, my office overlooked the parking lot, and I would keep track of who was leaving early and who was staying late. But as I got older, and especially once I became a father, I realized that both in terms of doing your best work and having a great life, that intensity was not always appropriate. Don't wait as long as I did to learn this lesson. Take time to nurture your relationships, to celebrate successes, and to recover from losses. Take a break when you need to. Take it easy on the people around you when they need it too.
Based on what I have already shown today, I am convinced surgeons in Korea and Japan need work-style reform too. But of course, we can't solve this serious problem by only shortening the work hours of surgeons. It would make the current situation even worse. Task shifting is mandatory to solve this problem. Nurses or clinical engineers may take part in the operation as a laparoscope holding assistant. They could be even forceps holding assistants. Not only to human beings, but also to machines, we should think of task shifting. A forceps holding manipulator, a camera holding manipulator, and so on. These task-shifting subjects, both by human and machine, must be seriously taken to expand farther systematically by the government as a prioritized issue of our countries. When you have a look at this slide, you see the increase in number of Japanese medical doctors. But on the contrary, these are the annual change in number of entire surgeons on the left-hand side and gastroenterology surgeons on the right side. I don't know about the situation in your country, but this is a crisis. Surgeons are endangered species. It's a wonderful and important mission to save humans' life. Those who can commit it will surely feel satisfaction and sense of accomplishment and will be respected and admired. However, in order to accomplish that mission, we often need to work very long hours and often have to sacrifice ourselves. If we keep on doing so for many years, our body would be damaged and we lose our health. We can't sustain our profession. Thus, we lose surgeons. And the citizens will face a problem. Now, dear chairpersons and my colleagues, I believe what we have to reform now is not only work style, but more importantly our way of thinking. Then with our new philosophy, we have to modify a part of education in medicine and drive the government to the right direction to create the new sustainable system of work style of surgeons and to protect ourselves and our citizens. That is all for today. Thank you for your attention.